Hi there, let me ask you something personal. Have you ever finished breakfast and felt strangely tired afterward? Not just full, but sluggish, a little foggy, maybe even moody? Like you're already running out of steam and it's only 9 a.m.? If you're over 60, I want you to know something important. It might not be aging, it might be your breakfast. Yep, that first meal of the day, the one we've all been told is the most important, could quietly be draining your energy, confusing your blood sugar, and making your heart work harder than it needs to. And the worst part? Most of us don't even realize it. Because these foods we're going to talk about, they look healthy, they sound healthy, they've been in our pantries for decades. But inside a senior's body, they create stress. Quiet stress, the kind that accumulates, wears you down, and steals your clarity before you've even left the kitchen. This is Elderly Reflections, where we talk about real-life stories, senior health, and wisdom you won't always hear at the doctor's office. Today, I want to walk you through 2 everyday breakfast choices that I believe are some of the most damaging for folks over 60. And the reason I believe that is because I've seen what they do to people I care about. People like Walter and Dorothy. You're going to hear their stories today. Let's start with Walter. He's 72, retired teacher, loves crossword puzzles, morning walks, and Raisin Bran. For years, Walter started his day the same way. A bowl of cereal, a splash of almond milk, banana on top. He thought it was a smart choice. Whole grain, the box said. Heart healthy, sounded great. But week after week, something felt off. He'd start his day strong, but by mid-morning he felt tired. Not sleepy tired. More like his body was heavy, like his brain was running through syrup. Some mornings, he said, he'd feel anxious for no reason. Or irritated. His daughter noticed he was more forgetful. He thought maybe it was just age. But his A1C was creeping up. His blood pressure wasn't budging, even with medication. That's when his doctor suggested something that surprised him. Let's take out the cereal for a month. Just that one change. Walter was skeptical, but he did it. He swapped his Raisin Bran for steel-cut oats, added cinnamon and walnuts. Within 2 weeks, he said something shifted. His focus came back. He felt more grounded. His blood sugar steadied out. His mood improved. And maybe most importantly, he no longer felt like he needed to lie down after breakfast. Now, if that sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many seniors rely on cereal or granola because it's fast, it's easy, and it seems harmless. But the truth is, most of those boxes on grocery store shelves are packed with added sugar and processed grains. The kind of carbohydrates that digest in minutes, spiking your blood sugar, then crashing it down just as fast. That spike-crash pattern, it might have been fine in your 40s, but after 60, your metabolism has changed. Your digestion has slowed. Your insulin response isn't what it used to be. And that roller coaster, it doesn't just make you tired. It stresses your heart, confuses your brain, and increases inflammation across your body. Inflammation that can worsen arthritis, memory issues, and blood pressure problems. And don't get me started on granolas. They may look rustic, even natural, but many are worse than donuts when it comes to sugar content. A handful might be fine, but most folks pour a bowl, toss on some fruit, maybe a scoop of sweetened yogurt, and suddenly you've had 40 grams of sugar before you've even put your shoes on. I'm not saying cereal is evil. I'm saying the body you have now may not be the body that can handle that kind of sugar load anymore. And if you've felt off lately, shaky, foggy, or unsteady after breakfast, it might not be your age. It might be your SPOM, so what's a better way to start your day? You've got options. Unsweetened oatmeal, eggs and avocado, plain Greek yogurt with a few berries, even whole grain toast with almond butter. The key isn't eating less, it's eating smarter. Something that fuels you steadily. Something that doesn't spike and crash. That's the kind of breakfast that supports senior health, mental clarity, and emotional steadiness. Because after 60, breakfast isn't just food, it's medicine. Let's talk about the second big offender. Processed breakfast meats. I know. Bacon smells like home, sausage tastes like comfort. And when we're talking about memory, smell is a powerful thing. But just because it's nostalgic doesn't mean it's good for you. Let me tell you about Dorothy. She's 75, retired librarian, sweet woman. She used to start her day with a sausage and egg sandwich every morning like clockwork. It filled her up, it tasted good, and she figured the protein was doing her good. But something was happening inside her body she couldn't feel until it caught up. Her ankles began to swell. Her blood pressure crept into the danger zone. Her doctor asked her what she was eating, and when she mentioned her breakfast routine, he raised his eyebrows. The sausage was the issue. Too much sodium, too much saturated fat, Too many preservatives, especially nitrates, the kind that turn into harmful compounds called nitrosamines. Those compounds are linked to insulin resistance, inflammation, and cancer risk. And when you're over 60 with slower circulation, more sensitive kidneys, and a metabolism that isn't what it used to be, that stuff lingers longer and hits harder. So Dorothy made a shift. She kept the eggs, but cooked them differently. No butter, no grease, added greens, swapped sausage for avocado, and a bit of whole grain toast. And in just a few weeks, her swelling eased, her blood pressure improved. She said she felt lighter, not just in her body, but in her mind. You see, after 60, your body can't clear excess sodium the way it used to. Your blood vessels are more prone to stiffness, and when you start your day with something greasy, salty, and preserved, it weighs you down, not just with fat, but with inflammation. With extra work for your liver, your kidneys, your heart. It's not about guilt. It's not even about cutting bacon out forever. It's about asking yourself, is this a once-in-a-while treat or an everyday burden my body has to pay for? There are better choices. Lean turkey, poached eggs with veggies, even a hearty slice of whole grain toast with almond butter can give you long-lasting fuel, without the hidden danger. And here's the bigger truth. Your breakfast isn't just a meal, it's a message. It tells your body, I'm here to take care of you. Or it says, you're on your own today. I want you to choose the first one, every time. Now, before we move on, I want to say this. If you're finding value in this kind of content, real stories, real solutions, with the kind of elderly wisdom most health channels overlook, please consider subscribing to Elderly Reflections. We're building a community here, one that respects your years, your insight, and your desire to keep living with clarity and strength. So hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you'd like to get reminders when we share new stories. And while you're at it, comment below and let us know, did any of this surprise you? What's your usual breakfast? We read every message, and your experience might just help someone else. I want you to picture a familiar scene. A toasted English muffin, a pat of butter, maybe some jelly. You've probably had that 1,000 times. Or maybe it's a bagel from your favorite bakery, or a muffin at the diner with your coffee. Seems harmless, right? Especially when you're eating it in moderation. But I want to tell you about Carl. Carl's 69 now, retired mechanic, lives out in Pennsylvania. Long guy, worked with his hands his whole life. But after retirement, he started noticing something strange. Every morning after his usual breakfast, a toasted muffin with a little jam, he felt okay for maybe an hour, then crashed, foggy brain, zero energy. His legs felt heavy, and no matter how much he walked or how carefully he counted calories, he just couldn't lose the extra weight that had crept up over the years. He thought maybe it was just what happens after 65, but his doctor asked him a simple question: what do you eat in the morning? That's when it clicked. You see, foods like white toast, muffins, pancakes, and pastries may taste light, but inside your body they're anything but. They're made with refined flour that's been stripped of its fiber, its nutrients, and the very parts of the grain that slow digestion. What that means is when you eat them, your blood sugar shoots up like a rocket. Your body rushes to release insulin, and then, boom, a crash. You're tired, shaky, moody, or craving something sweet again by 10 a.m. For seniors, that crash doesn't just feel uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Repeated blood sugar spikes and crashes are like earthquakes inside your system. Over time, they wear down your body's ability to manage insulin. That means a higher risk of type 2 diabetes, memory problems, and energy that vanishes before you've even finished your first cup of coffee. And here's the kicker. Many seniors are still eating these foods every day without realizing the cost. Pastries often contain hidden trans fats. Even when the label says 0 grams, small amounts get rounded down. But those fats linger in your bloodstream, raise bad cholesterol, and increase inflammation in your joints and arteries. You may not feel it immediately, but if your knees hurt more lately or you've been more irritable without knowing why, it might be that muffin. Carl eventually swapped his muffin for a slice of sprouted grain toast, added some almond butter, and half a banana. It wasn't a huge change, but after just a week, he noticed he could go all morning without crashing. His memory felt sharper. He even said he felt more stable, like his mood didn't swing the way it used to. That's the power of eating with your current body, not the one you had 30 years ago. If you love bread, you don't have to give it up. Just upgrade it. Choose whole grain or sprouted varieties. Look for real fiber, not just marketing fluff. And instead of sugary toppings, try natural peanut butter, cottage cheese, hummus, or even sliced tomatoes and avocado. These options digest slower, keep your blood sugar even, and help you feel clear, not cloudy. Because after 60, every bite matters, not to restrict you, but to support you. And that brings us to 4 flavored yogurt. I know, yogurt's supposed to be good for you, right? Great for digestion, high in protein, light and healthy. That's what the ads say. But let's talk about what's really inside that little plastic cup. A whole lot of sugar, and sometimes artificial junk that has no place in a senior's digestive system. Let me introduce you to Joyce. She's 73, lives in Arizona, always been health conscious. For years, she had the same breakfast, a fruit-flavored yogurt cup with a little granola on top. Sounded like a perfect light meal, but something felt off. She was bloated every day, her joints ached, and her weight, despite walking every morning, refused to budge. Her doctor suggested cutting back on processed sugars. So Joyce looked closer at her yogurt, and what she found shocked. 20 grams of sugar in one small container. That's more than a slice of cake, and that's before she added the granola. See, flavored yogurts are often packed with fruit syrups, concentrated juices, or artificial sweeteners. These mess with your gut, and for seniors, the gut isn't just about digestion anymore. It's about the microbiome, the balance of good bacteria that affects everything from mood to memory to immunity. When that balance is thrown off by too much sugar or chemicals, the ripple effects are enormous. Poor sleep, weakened immune response, more inflammation, less clarity. Joyce made the switch. She started using plain Greek yogurt, added her own fresh blueberries, a little cinnamon, and chopped walnuts. And within 3 weeks, the bloating eased, her joints felt better. She said mornings felt lighter, not just physically, but mentally, like she had more room to breathe, to think. And here's another hidden problem. Many flavored yogurts contain thickeners and stabilizers, like carrageenan or modified cornstarch, that don't support your gut. They may look creamy, but they often irritate your stomach lining and make it harder to absorb nutrients. And seniors, listen to me. Your body needs every ounce of nutrition it can get. You don't want to waste your calories on fillers that do more harm than good. So what should you do if you love yogurt? Keep eating it, but make it work for you. Choose plain Greek or unsweetened versions. Add your own fruit, maybe a drizzle of honey if you need it, or cinnamon, chia seeds, a sprinkle of flax. When you control the ingredients, you control the outcome. And after 60, every morning is an opportunity to nourish your brain, your gut, and your emotional balance. Not stress them out. Let's jump into danger zone fruit juice. Now I know this might ruffle some feathers, because who doesn't love a glass of orange juice in the morning? It's bright, it's refreshing, it's got vitamin C, right? For years, it's been marketed as a smart choice. But let me tell you something. After 60, that glass of juice acts more like soda in your body than fruit. The key problem is this. Juice strips away the fiber. When you eat an orange, your body digests it slowly. The fiber buffers the sugar, so it enters your bloodstream gradually. But when you drink juice, even 100% juice, you're getting all the sugar and none of the fiber. That means a rapid blood sugar spike, and if you've got insulin resistance, borderline diabetes, or memory issues, that spike can throw off your whole system before the day even begins. Let me tell you about Walter again. You might remember him from part 1, but there's something else he used to do every morning. He'd drink a big glass of apple juice. He thought he was being healthy. Better than coffee, he said. But a few months ago, Walter started getting lightheaded in the mornings. He felt off balance, and his A1C had gone up. His nutritionist asked him to cut the juice for just 1 month, replace it with a glass of water and a piece of real fruit. Guess what happened? Within 2 weeks, his energy leveled out. His glucose readings improved, and more importantly, he stopped having those dizzy spells. He told me, I didn't know a drink could do that much damage. And he was right. Because here's the thing, juice isn't evil, but it's concentrated. You'd never sit down and eat 4 oranges at once, right? But that's what you're doing when you drink a single cup of juice. All that sugar, none of the slow digesting fiber. And it's not just orange juice. Grape, cranberry, apple, they can be even worse. Some brands sneak in extra sweeteners or artificial additives that mess with digestion and gut health. For seniors, this is critical. Your gut bacteria. So here's what I recommend. If you love the sweetness, stick with real fruit. Eat an orange, have a few slices of apple, add berries to your oatmeal. That way you get the flavor, the vitamins, and the fiber. And if you're craving something to sip, try herbal teas, lemon water, or even cucumber slices in a cold glass. It's refreshing, it hydrates you better, And it doesn't confuse your pancreas or your mind, because energy isn't about caffeine or sugar. It's about stability, and juice just isn't stable fuel. That brings us to the last and perhaps the most emotionally loaded, dangerous breakfast food for seniors: fried, buttery comfort food. Now, I want to be really honest here, because this one hits home. I grew up on Southern breakfast: buttered biscuits, hash browns, eggs swimming in oil. That smell still takes me back to my childhood. And for many seniors, it's not just about taste. It's about memory, connection, family. But the body you have now isn't the body that processed those meals back then. After 60, your digestion slows. Your gallbladder works less efficiently. The stomach produces less acid. That means heavy, greasy foods take longer to digest. And instead of fueling your day, they make you feel sluggish, bloated, and foggy. Let me tell you about Leonard. He's 76. Retired postal worker. Every morning for decades, Leonard made the same meal: fried eggs in butter, white toast, and a skillet full of potatoes. It was his routine, but over time he started noticing something strange. After breakfast, he felt heavy, mentally cloudy, like he couldn't get his thoughts straight. He started needing a nap by 10:30. His doctor mentioned inflammation, said that heated oils, especially when reused or unstable, break down into compounds that increase inflammation in the body. And for someone like Leonard, already dealing with arthritis and mild memory decline, it was like adding fuel to a fire. So Leonard made a choice. He didn't give up his eggs, he just changed how he cooked them. Poached instead of fried, added some wilted spinach, used olive oil instead of butter. Within a few weeks, the difference was clear. He no longer needed a nap. His brain felt awake. He told me, "It's like I took a fog off my windshield." That's the power of small changes. Because it's not just the fat, it's the way your older body processes it. Frying foods at high temperatures releases unstable molecules that your body has to clean up. And if your joints hurt, if your mood's been low, or your digestion's off, it might be that morning plate. I'm not saying never eat warm food. I'm saying lighten it up. Roast instead of fry. Brush with olive oil instead of slathering in butter. Add greens to your plate instead of hash browns. Eggs are wonderful, but how you cook them matters. Because every breakfast sends a message to your body. I've got you, or good luck out there. You deserve the first one. So let me ask you something. How do you want to feel after breakfast? Steady, clear-headed, strong, or heavy, tired, bloated, and foggy? Because you have a choice every single day, and that choice compounds. The right breakfast builds your foundation. It sharpens your memory, steadies your emotions, and gives you energy to connect, to move, to live. That's what we believe here at Elderly Reflections. We don't fear aging, we guide it with wisdom. We honor our bodies with better habits, and we live not in fear but in clarity. Let's do a quick recap. The 6 silent breakfast saboteurs we covered in this video are sugary cereals and granola, processed breakfast meats, white bread and pastries, flavored yogurts, fruit juices, and heavy buttery or fried foods. Each one might seem innocent, but together they take more than they give. They drain energy, spike blood sugar, increase inflammation, and leave your organs working overtime. And after carrying you through 60, 70, even 80 years, they deserve better. So here's my invitation to you. Start small. Change just one thing. Maybe it's cutting the juice and eating an orange instead. Maybe it's switching your yogurt. Maybe it's how you cook your eggs. Every little shift sends a signal. I'm still learning. I'm still worth caring for. Because you are. You're not done. You're wiser now, and wisdom is power. Senior health isn't about fear. It's about taking your years of experience and finally applying it to yourself. With grace, with love. If you've made it this far, thank you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you learn today? What's one change you're willing to try this week? Let me know in the comments, and tell me where you're watching from. That's my favorite part, seeing this community grow from California to Canada, from New York to New Zealand. This is our space for elderly wisdom, for senior motivation, for gentle reminders that it's never too late to live better. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button. It tells YouTube this content matters. Subscribe to Elderly Reflections so we can keep growing this space for honest, inspiring, life-changing storytelling. Tap the bell so you don't miss our next video. We've got powerful episodes coming on memory, emotional well-being, and how to feel attractive again after 60. You won't want to miss it. I'm grateful for your time today. Remember, aging well isn't about what you lose. It's about what you keep. Your clarity, your strength, your freedom. And it all starts with breakfast. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.